The wait is over and the teams are ready. T20 Challenge is back.
Sun is shining and I feel so good.
Come show us your moves from anywhere in South Africa.
'Cause it's a good day for it, a good day for it.
Meet the stars, feel the vibe, and experience the thrill.
That's huge. That is out of the park.
Support your favorite team in your favorite city.
Brilliant catch.
Bring your energy, bring your passion. Hashtag bring on your moves.
Golden.
I play for the Hollywood Best Dolphins.
From the DP World Lions.
Alphabet Warriors.
Gold Rush Boland, World Sports Betting, Western Province,
The Mutiram Tuskers.
Northwest Dragons.
The Momentum Multiplier Titans.
Get your tickets for the T20 Challenge now and be there for the action. Hashtag bring on your moves. Woza nawe.
Welcome back to Mangaung Oval. Very overcast Mangaung Oval, where we're going to resume proceedings where we left off yesterday. The Knights obviously 92 for 3 after 10.2 overs when the umpires called the players off for lightning. So what will happen today is the match will resume, and the two batters and the umpires are making their way out to the middle. Isaac de Ghali will be joined by Ruan Haasbroek, with the Knights on 92 for 3. Still very much a threat of rain. I do think that this match is very evenly poised, Smith.
Pretty long lightning break we had, about 20 hours, and yeah, it's great to see them resuming. Obviously, as you mentioned, still a threat of some weather around here in Bloemfontein around the Mangaung Oval, but yes, very evenly poised indeed. Will be interesting to note with the Eastern Cape. Inyati has 11 guys to bat later on, as we've heard that young Christian de Toy might have returned to Pretoria to write some exams. Of course, they'll be able to replace him in the field straight off, using their 12th man in the field. So there will be 11 on the field, but it'll be very interesting to note. Some rumors circling around that he might have had to return to do some exams. It's that time of the year. But at 92 for 3, you want one of these two batters who's at the crease now to play a good innings for the Knights. Haasbroek, he might hold the key. He's the attacking man between these two. But de Ghali was brilliant yesterday in how he managed proceedings. He's 37 of 27.
Yeah, obviously still that wicket that they lost just before the umpires called them off, the one of Patrick Botha, key wicket. So the Knights will need another partnership between these two players out in the middle. I've got to say that I was very impressed with de Ghali yesterday. The way that he ran between the wickets obviously brings a bit of stability to the Knights innings. So the dangerous Ruan Haasbroek out in the middle, and Copeland to continue from the Loch Logan end.
Yeah, solid enough start from Ruan Haasbroek, bunting it down to long on for the single. Copeland won't get much purchase on the ball, only 11 overs all. Most of them will just be sliding on with the arm from around the wickets. Probably look to attack those pads, Raf.
Yeah. So yesterday he got the LBW decision his way when one just slided onto Patrick Botha. I must say the Knights, their running between the wickets yesterday was impressive. It was an area of the game that I felt they lacked in before that. But they did impress me the way they ran between the wickets yesterday.
De Ghali, can he continue where left off?
Again, as was the case yesterday, we see good rotation of the strike. I think that's going to be key, especially here at Mangaung Oval.
Now you see Nathan Roux, the captain, move himself into that straightish mid-wicket like that. Don't just give away the one at the start of proceedings. Out comes the reverse sweep for Haasbroek early on. Wants to stamp his authority here.
Yeah, the line that was bowled there was probably allowed for that. And had he made contact, that could have been good value.
There's proof of that one, just sliding on with the arm, the outside edge of Ruan Haasbroek. So 3 runs of the first 4 deliveries of the second day of the CSA T20 Div 2 knockout final.
95 for 3 after 11, as we see the scoreboard reflecting de Ghali on 38 not out, and Haasbroek just joined him on 2. Knights going at 8.6 and over at this stage. I've got to think that's more or less a par score at this stage.
For those who do not know, the man next in, Seth Vleetemouse, has proven himself to be one of the best finishers in the university cricket game in South Africa. He's played for the South African university side on numerous occasions. And bowls very decent off spin as well. Gun fielder.
Yeah, Seth, a good 3-in-1 cricketer, like you mentioned. Bats, bowl, and excellent in the field.
That's neatly played. Plenty of space. Hardus Kutzer's first delivery gets work behind point for a boundary. That's what Rowan Ashbrook can bring. He plays in strange areas on the field.
Yeah, we mentioned yesterday he's in this competition so far in excellent form, Ruan Asbrook. He's got highest score this season of 76 not out, strike rate of 190, and he's been one of the key players for the Knights this season.
Hardus Kutzer, another youngster who hails from Pretoria originally.
Again through the same area for 4. Excellent start here to the 12th over from the Knights. Asbrook getting 2 boundaries and 2 balls off the Kutzer bowling.
Exactly what the doctor would have ordered. No change in field. Slight change, but still third man vacant.
Yeah, you see a change now as you see that third man going into place. But Asbrook just opening the face of the bat and running that past that gully, 2 gully fielders almost. This time around, just driven down the ground for 1.
Must have a good bat in his hand there as well. Lovely sound as it pings off the bat there too long off. It's been a good morning for South African cricket. The Proteas in India dominating. The beanpole, Marco Jansen, bouncing out the Indian batters almost at will.
Yeah, well, good to see Proteas in a commanding position in India.
Morning all. We're just going to wait a little bit longer. There's subscribers coming in.
So Kutzer, who's had a good game here on Tuesday when we played the qualifier, helped the Inyati side to a decent total that they almost defended. This time around, just onto the pads, through for a leg by, as signalled by umpire Kieran Claster. Pulled away for a maximum. Rowan Asbrook getting into position early and dispatches that for 6. He's going to be a key player here for the Knights, Asbrook. As was the case yesterday with Jacques Neyman. The longer he stays at the wicket, the better the chance of the Knights here posting a decent total. Driven down the ground just for 1. Excellent over by the Knights. 17 coming off the 12th over. And that leaves the score on 112 for 3. Haasbroek 18 not out. Dikhali 38, and this partnership now worth 20. That rate achieved has moved up to 9.3. Copeland to continue from the Loch Logan end. Starting off again without a mid-wicket. Seen a lot of open space through the leg side for 1s and 2s. Asbrook pulls that straight to that long on fielder, just for one. Dali has played a good hand here for the Flexbrand Knights. Maybe just be looking to rotate strike as he's been doing the whole game. Down the ground. Should be coming back for the second. And they do. Quicker this time around by Copeland. Again, easy single down to long off. Keeps the scoreboard ticking over. Dali's score moves on to 41. And the partnership to 24. Spoke about that vacant space. And they're going to come back for the second. Good running again by Dali. Putting the field under pressure. So that mid-wicket, mid-on area, lot of open space there. And the Knights exploiting that and making sure that they keep the scoreboard ticking, rotating the strike, converting those ones into twos. Pulled away by Asbrook again to that long on fielder for one. 7 coming from the Copeland over. So good intent being shown here by the Knights batters. Good partnership. We spoke about it earlier on, the importance of getting another good partnership. 27 so far. Asbrook on 22 not out. And Dali on 41. 119 for 3 after 13. Bowling change here from the Willows end. Gaudi Molefe, left arm spinner, coming into the attack. He's bowled his first 2 overs for 13 runs. And he's going to continue from the Willows end. Three fielders out on the leg side towards the shorter boundary. Deep square, deep mid wicket and a long on. Long off and a sweep out on the offside. Asbrook looking to go big, not making enough contact, but does get the single towards that long on fielder. Looking to put Molefe under pressure from ball 1. Dali hits the sweepers, going to look to come back for the second. Good fielding on the boundary, but they do manage to get back for the second. Been very impressed with Dali in this innings. Really played well. Kept the innings together for the Knights. And he's out there still in the 14th over. Again, just the single this time around as Molefe runs across to do the fielding in that mid-on position. Four runs so far from the 14th over. What will Asbrook do? Is he going to look to go big towards that short boundary? Big RBW appeal by Molefe, and umpire Cluster says that's out. did look fairly adjacent, although Haasbroek not looking too pleased. Just looking again. Yeah, unless there was some bat onto that, that would have gone on to hit the stumps. Haasbroek's body language may be suggesting that he felt he got some bat onto that, but as it is, Haasbroek departs for 23. Good little cameo here from Haasbroek, but the Knights would have wanted him to stay in a bit longer. Big wicket there for the Eastern Cape Inyati, as we see the new batter making his way to the crease. Does look like Tiaan van Vuuren. So interesting that van Vuuren comes in ahead of Freedom House with only 6.2 overs to go. That probably makes a bit of sense. And you would also have the left right-handed combination out there in the middle. Apologies, the right-handed Tiaan van Vuuren, two right-handed batters. So Tiaan van Vuuren can hit a long ball. And the Knights would be looking to him to give them some momentum going into their bowling. Molefe to van Vuuren. Good fielding there by the captain Nathan Roux in that mid-wicket position, preventing a single from being taken. Last ball of the 14th over. Good one so far for the Inyati. Big hit, and he misses, and Molefe hits. Two big wickets for the Eastern Cape Inyati in the 15th over. That's the end of Tiaan van Vuuren, with a total on 123 for 5 after 14 overs. Momentum going the Inyati way in this over. So Tiaan van Vuuren departs without troubling the scorers. And again, this game very evenly poised at 123 for 5 after 14. See the young Seth Freedom House making his way to the middle. Two batters out there now that can run well between the wickets, look to rotate strike. And you just would like to see another partnership here, and the Knights continuing and trying to get themselves to a defendable total. So just the 4 runs from the 14th over, but also the two big wickets of Haasbroek and van Vuuren in that over. Copeland to continue from the Loch Logan end. Cut straight to that backward point fielder. Just send some pressure bowling here at the moment. Inyati managing to string together a few dot balls and getting the big wickets as a result as well. Over the top. It's going to land safely, but they are going to come back for the second. Dekhali's score moves on to 46. See those fielders on the leg side, 10 off the back foot, straight to backward point again. So the leg side fielders are 10 off that long boundary. And another dot ball from Copeland. Just the 2 runs from this over so far. 2 balls to go in this 15th over. Another dot ball. Pressure bowling. Good bowling here from Copeland. Should only be 1. They're looking to run hard between the wickets. Fledermaus coming back for the second. Gets in, makes his ground. So just 4 runs from the 16th over. 15th over, my apologies. Knights total on 127 for 5 after 15. So we see Dikali 2 runs short of what would be a well-deserved 50. That rate achieved now gone down to 8.5. So the wickets that Molefe took in the previous over, in his previous over, pulling things back for the Eastern Cape Inyati. Just when it seemed like the Flexbrand's Knights were getting some momentum. Molefe to continue his last over. 3 overs, 2 for 17 so far. 2 spinners doing the job here for the Eastern Cape Inyati. Again, attacking the stumps. Should only be 1. Fledermaus manages to get off the mark. First ball of the 16th over. And see those 2 fielders, extra cover and mid-off, quite close. Want to make sure that they don't concede any singles in the ring. Another change here as we see an extra fielder getting into the ring. Long off getting into that mid-off position. So 5 fielders in the ring. Trying to keep them, put the Inyati, the Flexbrand's Knights under pressure. And as we say that mid-off fielder gets dropped to almost halfway. Straight to backward point. Good phase of the game here for the Eastern Cape Inyati. Dikali looks to go big. Can feel and sense that something needs to happen. All these dot balls just creating the pressure. And the Knights looking to release. Again, another dot ball. 3 dot balls in a row. Just the 1 run so far off the 16th over. Change in the field. See that mid-wicket fielder coming across towards the offside. Driven straight to that extra. The other mix up here. Could have been a run out, but the ball thrown to the wrong end, to the keeper's end. Had that ball gone to the bowler's end, we could have seen the end of one of these 2 batters. But you can sense and feel the pressure out there at the moment. 1 more ball to go in the 16th over, the last ball of the Molefe spell. Should only, and another dot ball. Excellent bowling by Gaudi Molefe. 4 overs, 2 for 18. 128 for 5 at the moment after 16. 4 overs left in this Flexbrand's Knights innings. And you've got to say the last 4 overs have changed things and swung it maybe slightly in favour of the Eastern Cape Inyati. 2 spinners doing an excellent job at the moment. Copeland, he's going to bowl his last over from the Loch Logan end. 3 overs, 1 for 16 so far. It's got a mid-wicket in, so 5 fielders on the leg side. taking their time and looking to get their angles right. Copeland to Fledermaus. Another dot ball. Precious bowling here. Fledermaus does manage to get this to that deep mid-wicket fielder. Just for one. Again, a change in the field. See that mid-wicket fielder moving towards extra cover for Dali. And he does work that ball towards that mid-wicket area. They're going to come back for the second. Good running again by the two batters out in the middle. But again, good over so far from the Inyati. And that is 50 up for Isaac Dali of 46 balls. Good hand played by Dali. As I'm joined in the commentary box by the legendary Aaron Pangiso. Thanks, welcome.
Thanks, Braref. It's always good to have a nice chat with you and obviously share and see what's going on here with this wonderful game that we play. As Isaac Dali has just obviously with this first game into the team and just contributed very well. Let's hope he takes it all the way.
Yeah. Still a good over so far here by the Eastern Cape Inyati. Last ball, just played into that mid-wicket area, square of the wicket. They're going to come back for two again. Commented about the good running between the wickets by Dali. Gets the Knights total moving on to 135 for 5 after 17. 3 overs left in this innings. Pangi, you've been watching a bit of the game?
Yeah, I watched a bit yesterday. I think, as I said, Isaac Dali started well. With the 3 overs that's left in the game, obviously we just need him to just step it up a little bit. And looking at a total of maybe 160, 170 plus, I think that will be a good total on this wicket. And hopefully our bowlers come out and they do the job and we can look for positive results.
Yeah, 3 overs left. 5 wickets in the bank. Do get the feeling that there needs to be a play in this over. It's going to be bowled by, looks like Mshletwa. Alendile.
I'm impressed with how Dali has just come in, Braref, under enormous pressure. First game of the season in a T20 comp, and him delivering what is delivered. He's played very well. I think he's held his innings together. So hopefully this is a way of him just showing and showing the coach to step up and saying, I'm here. This is not a format that is not familiar with me, but he can do the job.
Again, straight to that extra cover fielder. Another dot ball. I got to agree with you. Spoke about it on air yesterday that Dali would be keen to prove that he shouldn't be boxed as a player. Can play all the formats. And got to be honest, he has delivered the goods. He's brought something different to this Knights team. Running well between the wickets and making sure that he keeps the scoreboard ticking over. Mshletwa to Fledermaus. Oh, top edge. It's going to land safe. They're going to come back for the second. Fledermaus might just feel that he missed out a bit on that full toss. Look to work that behind square through the leg side.
And again, it is so important at this stage of the game. You've got guys like Yosef coming in, knowing how to maneuver the ball around, especially playing on this big ground at Mangaung Oval.
Does go across it again, and a big appeal for LBW, and umpire Claster says that is out. Big celebration there from Schlechwa. And that's the end of Freedom House. He departs for 4. The Knights, Flexbrand's Knights, 137 for 6. You've got to feel that the Eastern Cape Inyati in control at the moment.
Yeah, I think if I'm to go out and bowl the way they have bowled with the score, looking at the scoreboard, I think you'll say they are in control. I think there's about 2.3 overs left, and they can restrict the Knights to anything under 160, and then I think you can back yourself to go for that target. With the scoreboard pressure, you just need someone up front to do the exact job that Dali has done, to hold the innings together and everyone plays around them. I think they've done a good job. The bowlers, looking at the bowler now, he stuck to his guns, the same line, going full and saying, you come at me, try go across, and then he just did a great job by striking for the team.
Now, got to agree with you. In the final of this nature, scoreboard pressure is always something that counts. Runs on the board.
Definitely.
But looking at that run rate achieved, it's gone down from 9.2 at the start of the innings, or the start of the day, to 7.8. Does show you that it's been a good period here for the Eastern Cape Inyati, as we see the young Ross Boast making his way to the middle. Again, another dot ball.
Another dot ball. I think this stage of the game, we shouldn't be getting these amount of dot balls. I'm not sure what the message is out there, but I've seen throughout the competition, guys are just struggling to rotate the strike and being able to get ones at will. And this format of the game, you cannot be dotting up, especially this time of the game when there's 2 overs left.
Yeah, spot on. Big hit from Rosbost, and over that deep square leg fielder for 6. Just what the doctor ordered for the Flexbrand Knights. Don't think he got all of it, but he managed to get enough bat on that to clear that fielder in that deep square leg position. Boast, an exciting young prospect. Picked up 5 for 12 on debut here at this very same ground with the ball. Full toss. Goes big again. Over that deep mid-wicket fielder for 4. Just looking at that fielder in that deep mid-wicket position. Maybe just too far in. But a full toss. And Boast gets another welcome boundary for the Flexbrand Knights. Score moves on to 147 for 6 after 18. Boast, his score moves on to 10. And this partnership obviously now also 10. Knights would be looking to Boast and maybe some of the batters to come, Magala, to help them to get to that 160, 170 mark that you spoke about. And that will give them something to bowl at.
100%. I think they've got the firepower at the end there with Magala coming in next. It's very clear with his intentions. Boast, he's targeting the short boundary. He's executed 2 shots perfectly well. He's put the Knights in a position now where they can look to get that. We were talking about that 160, but we're looking now, if they get that 10 and over, we're looking at 170. That 170, I think, at Mangaung, these kind of conditions, it might just be a winning score. But your bowlers need to still come out and bowl very well. We need to start well, take wickets with the new ball and put pressure in the middle with the spin, where Bongi's been very good for the Knights. And if we can carry on doing the same job with a good start, then we might just have a game in our hand.
And T need to continue. Inside edge to that behind square. They're going to look to come back for the second. Good fielding. Restricts them to 1. But Dikali gets off strike. Yeah, you've got to feel that 2 spinners, Copeland and Molefe, pulled things back for the Eastern Cape Inyati, bowled very well. So Bongi Mshlanga might be thinking that he could be in the game. Also got the off spin of Jacques Snyman. Seth Vliedermaus obviously can also bowl those off spinners. Inyati from the Loch Logan end. Post, innovative. Over that short fine leg fielder. He's going to come back for 2. Yeah, Ross Post has given this Knights innings some impetus. Came in and showed intent. And that's the 150 up for the Knights. Came off 112 balls, 10 fours and 4 sixes.
Yeah, good little cameo that Boast is playing here for the Knights. I think these are the runs that are needed in the back end. Let's just hope that he sticks around and he finishes the game well for the Knights and puts us into a good tight total.
Tini follows him. Post looks to give himself a bit of room. Just looking at his field, he's got his fine leg and third man up. So important, he can't leave the stumps and might be looking at changing up his pace.
I think that's a plan, Braref. I think that's a plan. You look at his field, he's got deep square, he's got cow, long boundary. I think him bowling slow balls into the wicket and saying, hit me there, take on the long boundary. That might just be the plan, because you look at his first ball that he bowled, Posty just sort of used his pace, and he should be smarter than that.
Post goes to the long boundary, fielder out there, taken. So Ross Post looking to take on that deep mid-wicket fielder. Unfortunately for him, does not manage to do that, and that is the end of Post on 12. Knights total on 150 for 6. Just spoke about the plans, and on this occasion, Tini executes excellently well.
Again, we just spoke about it, Braref. Him bowling the slow balls, hitting me to the long boundary, and I mean the execution was perfect. The plan worked for Tini this time. We just need to be boxing a little bit clever as batters. Long boundary, you can still hit it on the ground. Try push for 2s. If you're lucky, we're pushing for those 3s, and then you just target this short boundary with the boundary being short and the last over. Boundary being Post being a big player, being a big hitter. I think he should have been a touch smarter there to say, look, I can get 14 just hitting the ball on the ground, and then we target the small boundary, the next one. It still gives us the total of that 170 that we're looking for. So yeah, but well bowled Tuntini, he deserves it. He's been bowling well. I think the last game in the playoffs he got 4 for 17. So he carries on sort of doing the job for the Inyatis. So well done on him. It's good to see him on the park. He's a player that's disappeared a bit. I think he went to Australia, came back. Maybe he learned a thing or two. We know what he's capable of. He's been in the circuit for a long time. So it's good to see him come back and try and obviously better his skills and contribute to the game that we all love, the game of cricket.
The big man out in the middle, Sisanda Magala. Suppose you're not going to be seeing a lot of 1s and 2s out there when he's out in the middle. Dot ball from Tini. 1 ball left in the 19th over.
You also got to question a little bit of the tactics here, because if you've got such a big boundary, as you said, we might not be seeing a lot of 2s and 3s. Maybe Siboto should have went in and maybe try to run those 2s and 3s, because it's a big boundary to clear.
Does look to go big. Just the one by Magala to long off. He's going to be on strike for the final over in the Flexbrand's Knights innings. 151 for 7 after 19. You got to feel that 151, if they do get to 160, it could just be a par score, but at least something to bowl at.
Something to bowl at. 160 is always something to bowl at. It's just that in-between score where the scoreboard pressure is going to be important again. Like I said, your bowlers are going to be important. You spoke about your spinners. Their spinners have done the job. You look at Copland, 4 overs 23. Molefe, 4 overs 18. Both of them taking 3 wickets in between them. So we've got a gun spinner in Bongi. that's just burst into the scenes, and he's been doing well, and he's gonna need backup in your Jacks Neyman and your Seth, for all of them to come and put up their hands and say, look, we need to boss this innings. As we saw, spin has been very important in this competition.
Mhlechwa executing well. He's got 3 fielders out on the offside, and he's going to look to bowl that wider line outside the off stump. Does not want to go too straight where he gives Magala the chance to hit to the short boundary.
You look at his tactics. I like his tactics with the deep square up and saying to Magala, hit me over extra cover to the long boundary. You know, and he's protecting that short boundary very, very, very well.
Again, this time just straight down to long on for 1. Mhlechwa has been one of the standout bowlers for the Inyati in this competition, one of the leading wicket takers. Again, picked up 2 today for 28 in his 3.2 overs. Clear plans and good execution at the moment by him.
I think execution when it comes to T20 cricket is the most important thing, Ref. And at the moment, with the little overs that I've seen since I've come in, I think the boys have executed very well, the bowlers.
Dali goes across the line. Should only be 1 to that deep mid-wicket fielder. His score moves on to 56. And the Knights total 153 for 7 with 3 balls remaining.
That's that middle period there, Ref, that we talk about, the spinners where they took control. And now you can see the impact that it's done to the bigger picture on the scoreboard.
Again, excellent execution by Mhlechwa. Got the ball into that wide Yorkers outside the off stump.
Good execution, good plans, followed by good execution. That's all you need. In this stage of the game, we just need Sisanda Magala to be a little bit proactive, think a little bit outside the box where he can get those runs.
Full toss. They are going to look to come back, to go through for the single. Magala and Dali got a feel with 1 ball to go. Excellent over so far by Mhlechwa.
150, Ref, 155. Good score, as we said, pass score. Needs good bowling. Guys need to put up their hands. Who would you give the new ball to, Braref?
Yeah, with Tiaan van Vuuren back into the squad, wouldn't be surprised to see him taking the new ball. Magala and Siboto, the other 2 options. Again, that wide line just for 1. That's the end of the Flexbrand's Knights innings. 155 for 7. Run rate achieved at 7.7, so you would think something to bowl at. But the Inyati would feel quite pleased after 10.2 overs. They were 92 for 3, and they've managed to restrict the Knights to 155. Excellent bowling by the 2 spinners, as we've mentioned. And towards the end and at the death, Mhlechwa also playing his part. Copeland, 4 overs, 1 for 23. Kutsera's travelled a bit, 3 for 36. Mhlechwa, he's been excellent, 4 overs, 2 for 31. Tini's bowled well, 1 for 26. And then Totana going for 10 and over in his 2 overs. Molefi's been the pick of the bowlers, was probably 4 overs, 2 for 18. The Inyati would feel quite pleased with their efforts in the field. They will come out a bit later and look to chase down that 155 target set by the Knights. Just spoke about who's going to be taking the new ball, and it might be that you'll see either Magala and Siboto bowling with Van Vuuren up with a new ball.
Yeah, no, definitely one of them. They're good options, but I still say with the spin playing a massive role in these past games, in this whole competition, Bongi's been doing a great job. I think he'll be a guy to go to for that first over to set the tone. I think what has let the Knights down in the previous games as well is that important person taking that first ball. We saw that a couple of times where the first over goes for 24, 24, 23. So now, at least with the likes of Tiaan coming back into the team, he just came back from India. You know, I think he's learned a thing or two as well. He's always a guy that is keen to learn. You know, he's a learning cricketer, so he might just give us that extra oomph which I think the Knights need. But I think Bongi and your Seth and Snyman will be your guy for this match. They have to put up their hands. They have to take charge.
Yeah, Smith spoke about it earlier on that it could be that the Inyati would be with 10 batters out. Christian de Toey had to go and write exams this morning. Not sure if they will allow him to be replaced. But I do think that, as you mentioned, Bongi Mhlanga will play a key role with the ball. We'll join you after the break to see who takes the new ball for the Knights.
The wait is over and the teams are ready. T20 Challenge is back.
Sun is shining and I feel so good.
Come show us your moves from anywhere in South Africa.
'Cause it's a good day for it, a good day for it.
Meet the stars, feel the vibe, and experience the thrill.
That's huge. That is out of the park.
Support your favorite team in your favorite city.
Brilliant catch.
Bring your energy, bring your passion. Hashtag bring on your moves.
Golden.
Now I play for the Hollywood-based Dolphins.
From the DP World Lions,
Alphabet Warriors.
Gold Rush Boland, World Sports Betting, Western Province,
The Mutiram Tuskers.
Northwest Dragons.
The Momentum Multiplier Titans.
Get your tickets for the T20 Challenge now and be there for the action. Hashtag bring on your moves. Woza nawe.
Welcome back to Mangaung Oval. See the umpires making their way to the middle. Does look like the captain, Nathan Rue. And it does look like the Toy, who we thought could have been out for the game, writing exams, but it does look like him. We'll confirm that. But with me back in the box here, Spoot Smith. Spoot, 156, par score, just below par for you.
Yeah, I think it's just below par, Ref, to be honest. But runs on the board in a final. Home ground advantage. They'll know all about the short boundary as a bowling side as well, so they'll have their plans
The wait is
almost
over.
in place because they sort of started playing mid-season on this wicket already. So they'll have certain bowlers bowling to that short boundary. Lengths will be very important as well. We speak so much about the line you bowl to a short boundary, Ref, but it's also about the length.
Yeah.
Because you can't go back of a length because that's too easy to get picked up over that short boundary. So probably fuller and wider.
And I think that's where Mshlechwa has done so well towards the end. And we saw in the last game here also Malusi Siboto also executing well to that short boundary, bowling that fuller and wider line. So I think the plans are going to be clear, important, and obviously the execution of that plans. Got to commend and forgot to mention that Dikali managed to bat through the innings. He got to 50 odd, not out. Played a good hand.
Yeah, definitely. Look, it's. I think where the Knights missed the trick was Dali did exactly what he needed to do, and we spoke about that once he started batting. He needs to bat through the innings at a strike rate of 110, 120. He did exactly that. The foil on the other side was the problem. Jacques Snyman started like a house on fire, lost his wicket. Yeah, so very, very interesting. It is a final. So it's Vian Rutven who's come to the crease, opening the innings with Nathan Russo. Verdict's still out. It looks like the Toy might be missing out. He was slated to open the innings.
Yeah, big blow if he does not play for the Eastern Cape Inyati. One less batter in their lineup. As we see Sisanda Magala taking the new ball for the Flexbrand Knights from the Loch Logan end. Nathan Rue comes off good knock, 68 of 43 balls against the Badgers in the qualifier.
He's a man that played a lot of cricket in Bloemfontein, Nathan Rue.
Good start here by Magala on the money. And I think the Knights will need that. Can't give away any freebies. We saw the two spinners, Copeland and Molefe, playing a good hand for the Inyati. And the Knights would also be looking at their two spinners, Mshlanga, Bongi Mshlanga and Snyman, to do the business with the ball for them later on. But it's going to be interesting to see who takes the new ball with Magala from the Willows end. But a width offered straight to that field and quick single again. Good running by Rathvan and Nathan Rue.
Yeah, it's Rue off the mark. Magala. Your Honor, looks can be deceiving. Watch out for Sisanda Magala, one of South Africa's most skillful T20 bowlers. He's proven that year in, year out. Don't worry about his fitness. He only needs to bowl 4.
Yeah, took a diving catch in the last match here. Oh, well bowled again by Magala. Experienced Magala. One of the bowlers that in that match against the Storm picked up 4 for 12. 7 wickets so far in this competition this season. So he's been coming along nicely. Bowled just 11 balls in his first match against the Inyati, or against the Northern Cape Heat.
Rutven wondering here in this final.
Over the top. It's going to be hauled in just for the 2. Rutven showing his intent early on. Magala just pitching that one up a bit. And with that mid-off and mid-on in the ring, Rutven looks to go over them, but unfortunately not enough bat on that. 2 more balls to go in this first over. Deep square out, and a third man.
Magala into Ruthven.
Goes past the bat.
Spoke about him liking to field bat on ball, especially early in his innings. And he's a man that likes to get onto that front foot, hit over the top. But Magala, just a hint of a way shape there for the big man.
3 runs so far off this first over. Mangala would want to close it out and make sure that keep things quiet. Doesn't want to give this Inyati side momentum. Wide. Lucky to get away with that as well. If you look at this field, all the fielders in the offside in the ring.
Interesting first over. It is a final. Lots of nerves about, especially for the young Bjorn Ruthven. Nicely bowled by Sasanda Magala. Good start by the big man. Only 5 runs in the first over. No breakthrough, but a very, very tidy start indeed.
Yeah, 5 without loss after that 1 over. Spoke about what we thought was a par score. Just feel that the Knights left a few runs out there and they might just be below par, but it's going to be important to see how they go in this power play with the ball. Tiaan van Vuren, the left arm seamer, just back from duty with the SAA side. He's into the attack, and you would like to see, the Knights would like to see him strike with that new ball and get some early wickets up front. Third man in a deep square out. Was expecting him to bowl from this end and to that short boundary. Again, the Knights starting to bowl off from the Loch Logan end, which will mean that they will bowl their final over from the Willows end to that short boundary. Van Vuren to Ruthven. Oh, goes past the bat. Excellent start by Tiaan van Vuren.
This is good to have Van Vuren bowling from this side. The leg side boundary to the right-handers is the short one, but he'll predominantly now take it across the left or the right-handers because of that. And it's very difficult for a right-hander to hit that angle towards the leg side. It's a tougher angle than a right arm away swinger for a left-hander because it's coming across his body from the start. Yep.
Thick outside edge, just over that gully fielder. They're going to come back for the second. And again manages to do that easily as Snyman does the fielding from that third man position.
That's a case in point there, Raf. Ball sliding across him. He's looking to work that kind of square to the leg side.
Yeah, almost the leading edge. You did speak about the angles. That time around, Ruthven looks to go through the leg side. Good stop there in the covers. You see that Ruan Haasbroek's the stand-in keeper. Obviously, Gian Kluter not playing in this match.
Very skilled cricketer is Ruan Haasbroek. He can even chuck a few off-spinners when you need him. He's done that at many levels of cricket in South Africa. Finds themselves with the gloves on here today in the final of the CSA Division 2 T20 knockout. Tian van Vuren.
Saboto changes, gets that third man fielder to come a little bit more square, almost a deep backward point position. Gets a gully into play. Just a change in the field. Just to straight this time from Van Vuren. Should only be a leg by. An umpire cluster indicates as much. So 2 balls left in the second over. 8 without loss. Fairly quiet start from the Inyati.
Very subdued. The key for them will be wickets in hand. We saw the Knights lose them in clusters, especially this morning. Since the restart, remember, those of you that joined us just now, this game restarted. Very unique situation. When Lightning took us from the field yesterday, the Knights were 92 for the loss of 3 after 10.2 overs. Very strong in that area, Nathan Root. He'll hit you from off stump, even fourth stump through mid-wicket with force. I remember seeing Nathan Root bat for the first time in the nets of the University of the Free State. Sort of floating around in the second and third side back then. Immediately noticed how strong he is through the mid-wicket area. Doesn't lose his shape, doesn't lose his balance, but he can punish you through there.
I think you started a story yesterday about Nathan Rue and an incident that happened whilst you were still coaching at the university. I don't think we finished that.
Get to that after this delivery.
Upish. Just short of mid-off for 1. And that's the end of the second over. 10 without loss.
Yeah, Nathan Rue was a religious guy that always got to the practice. Religious in his training regimes and stuff. And noticed him not being at practice the one Tuesday afternoon. Started making a couple of phone calls. Just had the terrible feeling something has gone wrong because he'd always be there. There he is on 2 not out. And ended up, he had a heart stop back at his hostel digs, or his communal digs. Had to be rushed to hospital. Nearly lost his life that day. Had a second heart stop while still being in the hospital. Miraculously recovered. And here he is 5 or 6 years later, captaining the Eastern Cape Inyati.
Over the top. They need to run hard here. It might just plug. And he does. Looking to come back for the third, Ratvan. Magala again just erring slightly towards the fuller side. And Nathan Rue up to the task. Gets 3 runs.
He hit that some distance, did Vian Rudvin. It plugged, as you said, Raf, but it did travel many a mile in the air. That is a massive boundary towards Cow Corner and long on.
LBW appeal. Did sound like there could have been some bat onto that, and umpire Shazi says no, that's a leg by, no bat on that.
I would have adjudged it to miss the leg stump then, umpire Shazi. Let's have a look.
Yeah, does look like that could have just passed that leg stump. So Ratvan looking to take on the bowling. The 2 balls that were pitched up to him, he did look to go after. So you've got to get your lengths right to him. Oh, Magala again. Straight over the bowler's head for 2. Would be interesting to see, it would be interesting to see if he actually looked to take the pace off there.
Definitely roll his fingers across that one ball. The off-cutter to Sasanda Magala.
Yeah, interesting ploy that with the new ball.
He's played 134 T20 matches. Sisanda Magala has taken 147 wickets with a best bowling of 5 for 20 and a strike rate of 17. He's a star of the short format in South African cricket, and he's donned the green and gold before as well.
Yeah, experienced Magala. Brings that third man up and pushes that mid-on fielder out to long on. Again, pace off. High up in the air, field underneath it. Taken.
First wicket down, Sisanda Magala and Vian Rutven, the man to depart. You could see, took the one hand off the bat. He was beaten by the change of pace. And the experienced Patrick Botha at long on makes no mistake. Will Sisanda Magala be the star here for the Flexbrand's Knights?
Yeah, just commented about his experience and the change in the field. And the one guy that he did push out was that long on fielder. And Rutven departs for 10 of 12 balls. Good start here. Early wickets is what the Knights require, the Flexbrand's Knights. And Magala obliges, gets the first wicket of Vian Rutven. Does look like the wicket keeper Malika, or could it been Jason Niemand, who has made his way to the middle. Jason Niemand it is, out in the middle. Former SA under-19 cricketer as well. See Magala, that third man goes back again. $16 for 1 after 2.4 overs. Slip going into place as well for the new batter. Jacques Snyman moves into that first slip position. 2 balls left in the third over.
That's a good single. So this is where the role of Nathan Root might just change. Malika doesn't look like... well, it is Niemand, in fact. Yeah, he can give it a good whack. So he'll probably look to be the aggressor here, Niemand, with Nathan Root playing that Isaac Digali role for the Eastern Cape Inyati. He might have a trick or two more up his sleeve, Nathan Root, when it comes to the power game.
Yeah, he did get that 68 of 43 balls in the previous game. So he's got the ability to bat at a decent strike rate. Change in the field for Nima, for Roo. Slip goes out, goes into that mid-wicket position again. Third man deep square. He looks to run that, and a big appeal. Big appeal by Ruan Haasbroek, but umpire Shazi unmoved.
Couple of big shots now against Nathan Root. One LBW and one for caught behind. He did have a sneaky little look behind, but Magala wasn't convinced. That's the big thing. Ruan Haasbroek might deserve an Oscar for that, because the bowler so often gives it away.
Yeah, Magala, very belated appeal. Haasbroek obviously felt that he heard something. Not the first time that we look at Nathan Root looking to run that down to third man area. Tiaan van Vuuren to continue from the Willows end to the new batter, Jason Niemand. Deep square, third man out. Niemand has also had a decent season for the Eastern Cape Inyati. Features in the top 10 batters in this competition. Good running again, straight to mid-off. It's been a feature of this game, the running between the wickets. And at a venue such as this, it is something that you're looking at and making sure that you keep that scoreboard ticking over.
That's the key here. I'm still going at 6 to the over. They don't need much more. They only need 7.5, just under 8 to win this game and win the final. So they don't have to go shot a ball here. Van Vuren, dream season. He's into route. Man who knows this Mangaung Oval very well.
A good stop there in the covers. Bit of a mix-up. Gone! Umpire CSA reckons that he's made his ground.
Haasbroek getting very excited once again. Thought he got it through the covers here, did Root. Good stop at short cover. Throw comes in.
Yeah.
He made his ground there.
Umpire CSA getting it spot on. Rowan Haasbroek got me excited as well in the commentary box. Saw especially in that middle phase, the dot balls that created the pressure for the Eastern Cape Inyati when the two spinners were bowling. The Knights would want to do the same. Driven to that mid-off fielder, should only be one. Malusi Siboto, the captain, does the fielding.
He hasn't gotten going yet, Nathan Root. Trying to overhit the ball. Van Vuren and Magala doing a good job in tandem for the Knights. We saw the Flexbrand's Knights earlier in the season using Mbongi and Mhlanga in the power play. Looks like he might bowl after the power play here today. He'll enjoy that.
Oh, steep extra bounce there from Tian Van Vuren. Yeah, the team has obviously got a few more seamers back. You still have Ross Boast and Malusi Siboto. And with the bit of overcast conditions, you want to give those seamers a chance with the new ball. Hopefully still something in there for them. And we did see the two Eastern Cape Inyati spinners bowling well in that middle phase. So you'd expect Mhlanga maybe to bowl these overs in that stage of the game.
Neatly struck by Niemand. Maroff on the edge of the circle, as we've become accustomed to seeing in the short format. On a knife's edge, this final, something's got to give. Niemand and Root will try and get going here. Both of them 3 not out. Roo's eaten up more deliveries.
Yeah, last ball of the 4th over. Van Vuren want to close it out. Just conceding that 7 runs so far. Roo uses his feet. Top shot over the bowler's head for 4. Releases some of that pressure.
Now the former Queen's College man, Nathan Root, in full flow here. He can do this to you. Gives himself some room.
Actually giving himself some room. Good shot nonetheless for 4. 24 for 1 after 4 overs. Yeah, so the odd boundary here and there, and as you said, no need to take unnecessary risks. You can get it in 1s and 2s as well at this venue, with the odd boundary in between. Wickets in hand, the key as you mentioned earlier on, Split.
Yeah, that's the one thing, yeah. Roo 7 not out, Niemand on 3, Rutvin, quick fire 10. See that name de Toy slipping down and down the order. A bowling change for the Knights. It looks like Ross Boast comes into the attack. The man with a golden arm. Picked up 5 in his debut. 2 the game after that. Marty Student. got himself into the SA University side as well after the USO week in Bloemfontein not too long ago.
Thick outside edge to that third man fielder. Should only be one. Van Vieren does the fielding. Oh, miss. Bit of a sloppy fielding. Ruan Haasbroek allows them to get through for the second run.
T20 cricket has brought the stopper into the game more than the wicket keeper. See top order batters who doesn't bowl get the job a lot. He's a bit better than that, Ruan Haasbroek. Can be very tidy behind the stumps.
Yeah, good cricket here by young Jason Niemand. Just, again, keeping that scoreboard ticking over. Saw Dali play a similar role, batting through the innings and helping the Knights to a total of 155. Spoke earlier on about some of the players that have come through the university system. Ross Boast being one of them, Seth Friedemhaus. The USO Weeks become an important platform for players to showcase their talent. Seen a number of players coming through that pipeline and the system of the USO tournament and progressing to professional cricket.
He's a quality cricketer. As you saw earlier, he can give the ball a good whack as well. Held out to the long boundary, unfortunately. Short ball, but it's wide. The signal came from Karen Kloster at square leg to umpire Shazy.
But a width offered. Stopped in that backward point position by Isaac Dikgale. Just for one. Just on the toe of the bat, Jason Niemand. Could feel that he missed out a little bit there. Two more balls to go in this fifth over. Again with, and this time around, Nathan Roux helps himself to 4 runs.
Yeah, it's too good to miss out there, Nathan Roux. Unfortunately, Ross Boast missing the mark quite badly there, giving a lot of width. And now Nathan Roux's got himself going. And that's danger signs for the Flexbrand Knights.
Good over here, the fifth over. 10 already from it. One more ball to go. They're going to look to come back for the second, running hard, but Van Vieren cleans up. So 11 from the fifth over, 35 for one. One more over remaining in this power play. Roux on 13 and Jason Niemand on 7. This partnership now moves on to 19.
Yeah, it's dangerous. They're going at that 7 runs and over, and it's dangerous if you're a Flexbrand Knights supporter, of course, and it's great news currently if you're an Eastern Cape Inyati supporter. And they'll feel, as long as their captain, their talisman Nathan Roux at the wicket, Jason Niemand also a very good exponent of the short format. Van Vieren, can he provide the breakthrough?
He We spoke earlier about how strong he is through that area, Nathan Drew. Strong through the leg side, straight to that mid-wicket fielder, just for one. Van Vuuren looking to get a tad fuller. Unfortunately, too straight this time around.
Niemand on strike now. To Van Vuuren.
Driven straight to mid-off. Should only be one. Good running again. Jason Niemand, 158 runs so far in this competition. Does go at a strike rate of 127, but one's got to consider that, you know, most of their games they play down in East London. Not the easiest place for a batter.
127 strike rate down in East London is some going.
Yeah.
He'll enjoy this. As will Nathan Drew. Shot. Top cricket shot from Nathan Root. Raced across the Mangaung Oval outfield. He's continuing with his form from the qualifier.
Yeah, as we see again he gave himself some room to free his arms. So not the worst line, but Nathan Drew, excellent cricket shot through the covers. Yeah, good cricket here by these two Inyati batters. Keeps the scoreboard ticking over.
.42 for the loss of one. So JP Trickard, the Knights coach, has gone in heavy here in the power play. He's probably bowled his best two T20 bowlers, trying to pick up wickets. Thus far, they've only picked up one. Is there another chance? He's like a cat with 9 lives here, Nathan Root.
Yeah, comparative scores after the power play. The Knights were 57 for 1. Inyati 42 for 1 with 1 ball remaining. You've got to say in that middle phase, the Knights not doing themselves any favours, losing wickets in clusters. So although the Knights had a good start in that power play, Inyati pulled it back nicely from over 11-12 onwards.
Shot. Top shot. Too full and too much width from Tiaan van Vuuren. He's straight too full in this over. But Jason Niemand joins the party.
Yeah, just the length, letting himself down here. If you look at his field as well, great position that Jason Niemand gets himself in. And he gets the Inyati score to move on to 46 for 1 after those 6 power play overs. And we do see the introduction of spin. Mbongi Mhlanga into the attack from the Loch Logan end. He'll be bowling to that long boundary. Mostly right-handers in this Inyati lineup. Do feel that Mhlanga will play a key role here for the Knights.
As did the spinners for the Eastern Cape Inyati. And plenty of pressure on a young man, Mbongi Mhlanga.
Highly rated by his coach and mentor, Aaron van Giesel.
They would have played some cricket together, these two, Nathan Root and Mbongi Mhlanga. Careers overlapping by a year in the City of Roses.
Oh, good shot there again from Root. Should only be 1.
If he's going to miss Mbongi Mhlanga, that's a good miss. Because he's got protection. on the sweeper boundary. Over pitching and giving width, he's going to be in trouble because they're going to target him over extra cover or cover.
Yeah, we've seen the two Inyati spinners targeting the stumps. And Mhlanga would want to do the same. Not want to leave the stumps in this format. Again, good bowling by Mbongi Mhlanga. And those dot balls, like we saw when the Flexbrand's Knights were batting, does create that pressure in the sense of something needs to happen. String a few more of those and you're back in the game.
Oh, he's feeling it here, Bongi Mhlanga. He's really invested into this, and it's good to see. Maybe he can be the catalyst the Knight needs, or the Knights need, rather, just to light the fire of the senior players. Gotta want it.
Oh, outside edge. Magala just misses that one. It's going to run away for 4. Unlucky for the bowler.
Yeah, that's not great for Bongi Mhlanga. He was so invested into that over, busy with a very good over. Bowls a beautiful delivery. Yeah, and to be fair to Magala, I had a lot of work to do there. Unlucky, as you said, but it's still 6 runs of the over. Good one from Bongi Mhlanga.
Yeah, and 50 up for the Eastern Cape Inyati. 52 off 44 balls. Good start here in pursuit of that 156 runs to win. Bowling change from the Willows end. Captain Malusi Siboto comes into the attack. Mr. Consistent. You'll most probably see him also bowl towards the death. Third man, fine leg out. Deep square. Deep mid wicket. Oh, not a deep, long on and a sweep on the offside. Gotta say they've rotated the strike well, these two batters.
That drop and run was very underrated. It was a good delivery. A wily old fox, Malusi Siboto, Flexbrand's Knights captain in this final. He's bowling to Rue now on 24. He's the danger man here. The Knights need his wicket.
Does seem to take the pace off a bit.
He does bowl that leg cutter, doesn't he, Malusi Siboto? But he's got all the tricks. He's got 3-4 different slower balls.
You almost expected that delivery when you saw the change in the field, finally coming up in the ring and deep mid wicket going out.
He goes from medium slow to very slow, Malusi Siboto. Great limited overs bowler. There's the root trademark. Working it through mid wicket from off stump.
These two batters just keeping that scoreboard ticking over, going at a rate of just over 7 at the moment, and without taking much risk. Rate required at the moment just over 8. Got to give them their due. They've done well thus far. Wide from Malusi Siboto. Umpire Kieran Claster indicating Siboto to Niemand. Again, just looking to bowl those leg cutters, but not able to control that, and wide down the leg side again.
Raf, will it be fair to say that the Knights, with all the experience they have, would feel they'd just be a bit more clinical in this final, with bat, with ball, in the field? Just expect a bit more of them.
Yeah, if you do feel that something needs to happen for them at the moment. This partnership now worth 40, and not as good in their execution as you'd expect, and defending a total that we feel is maybe just below par. You need to be on the money. Again, Jason Niemand playing that to that deep mid-wicket boundary, just for one.
Taking a leaf out of Nathan Roo's book there, getting himself onto off stump, working it through.
Yeah, good running again. Good awareness by these two batters. Magala in that position, in that gully area. And they're well aware of that, and help themselves to another single. 58 for one after 8 overs.
So they require 99, or 98 rather, for victory. See there, the Duckworth Lewis pass 59. So if the heavens should all of a sudden open right now, the Knights will win by a run.
Got to consider, is that the Duckworth Lewis pass score at the end of this over?
Might well be.
Because that is how I see it, and it could be the pass score at the end of this over, which tells you that Inyati well on track here. That's always an indication of where you're at in the game.
Wickets. That's what the Flexbrand's Knights need here. Wickets. Can the young left-arm tweaker Mbongi Mhlanga be the hero?
Using his feet. Nathan Roo straight to that long off fielder just for one. Now you do feel that it does look like a good wicket to bat on this, and that the spinners could hold the key. They're going to run hard. They're going to look to come back for the second. Again, good running between the wickets by Jason Niemand and Nathan Roo. It's also a feature of the Knights innings when Isaac Dikali was in the middle. Saw those fielders on the leg side, western side to the ground, being about 10 off the fence.
Has protection out there. Does Mhlanga.
Looking quite easy at the moment for the Eastern Cape Inyati. They've got that wickets in hand that we spoke about. They're keeping up with the run rate. Good.
Neatly played.
Good cricket there between these two youngsters out in the middle, Roo and Niemand. Just showing that you can keep up with the rate without taking much risk. It's looking too easy out there in the middle at the moment.
You wonder, Raf, as a captain, whether he'll do well to maybe bring that sweeper on the offside in for a few deliveries to Mhlanga. Ask the batters to take a chance. He's gone for 12 in his 2 overs. He's bowled really nicely. 4 of them was very fortunate runs to Jason Nima. 64 for 1 after 9. So they require 92 of 66 with 9 wickets in hand. That's the key for the Eastern Cape Inyati.
Or could it be 8 wickets in hand with the Tway not available, as we suspect? Still to be confirmed.
They'll kick themselves if they need 11 batters here.
Again, Jason Niman walks into the channel, goes across and gets another single to that deep square leg fielder. Smart cricketer Jason Niman, as mentioned earlier, represented South Africa at S under 19 level.
The man batting alongside him matured like a fine wine, Nathan Roux. Wasn't necessarily ever in the mix for the South African under 19 side. But after a stellar university career, really announced himself on the scene. He averages nearly 44 in List A cricket, does Nathan Roux. Will want to work on his first class average and slowly but surely getting to grips and understanding his own T20 game.
Another player that has obviously also come through the university system and represented the SA Universities team spoke about the fact that the USO Week has become a good platform for young players to showcase their talents nowadays. Oh, almost carrying back towards the bowler. Malusi Siboto taking the pace off again. And the Knights needing a breakthrough here.
You can also sense it now on the field, Raf. They're starting to become very vocal. I think they might understand that they've dug themselves a hole here, and only they can get themselves out of it.
4 players out in the boundary on the leg side. So Siboto is going to look to bowl that straighter line.
It's a gutsy ploy from the captain.
Especially to that short boundary.
He's taking the pace off and he's sort of rolling his fingers down the side of the ball, bowling leg cutters, rather than almost over the top and bowling the off cutter. So maybe he wants one to grip.
Yeah, another single. These 2 batters keep on rotating. 1 more ball left in this 10th over. 68 for 1 so far. Going at about 6.9. Only consolation for the Knights at the moment would be that rate required has crept up slightly to 8.7. Again, should only be 1. Good over nonetheless by Malusi Siboto. After 10, 69 for 1. This partnership 53 between Jason Niemand and Nathan Roux. Maybe a bit of a message coming out.
I think up to this point they've been timing it really nicely. 87 of 60. Every day of the week you'd take that with 8 or 9 wickets in hand. As we mentioned, Toy might not be able to bat. What a story it'll be for the Eastern Cape Inyati if in fact they go on to win this tournament and can claim that they did it with 10 men in the final.
Yeah, I mentioned yesterday, I think that they are joint holders of one of the white ball formats in the Division 2 last season. So good side.
Oh, there's so much space on that leg side. And we've seen this ploy to the big boundary where captains go without anybody in a ring on the leg side except for a short fine leg or a 45 as we refer to it.
Yeah, Jacques Snyman in the attack. The Knights would be looking at him to say, do the job that Molefe and Copeland did for the Eastern Cape Inyati.
Experienced campaigner Jacques Snyman.
Down the ground. They're going to come back for the second. So again, good cricket there by these two batters. Keeping up with the rate and not taking any risk. Ones and twos and the odd boundary in between. As we see again, Nathan Drew looking to give himself some room.
Here you go. Here you go. It's surely going to be two.
Those pockets through the leg side. A lot of ones and twos in that area if you can manage to get the ball into that space.
I'm not sure I agree with this field.
Just cries out for that mid-wicket fielder. It's too easy. They're going to look to come back for the second. And they do.
You know, Raf, at this point, it's not even... We can't call it great running because it's always two. So any bat on the ball in front of the wickets currently on the leg side is two. Unless the bowler can get to it. Or in some shape or form on square, the short 45 can get to it. Otherwise, it's going to be two a ball.
Again, through that same mid-wicket area. And they're going to come back for the second again. Just mentioned it. It's crying out for that mid-wicket fielder.
And it's also about who you're bowling to. Nathan Ruth, that's his stock shot. He'll work you from fifth stump if he can. He'll work you into mid-wicket. So, without being too critical, that's just an awareness issue. You've played cricket with him. And there you see it now. 78 or 54 in the pound seats. 78 for 1 after 11, the Eastern Cape Inyati.
Yeah, that Snyman over went for 9. And you didn't actually even get the feeling that they were taking any risk. It is like almost offered to them. Ross Post changing ends, coming from the Willows end. Just looking at the fielders that are out. Third man, sweeper on the offside. It's got a deep square, deep mid wicket, and a long on. Do get the feeling that he might be looking to take the pace off as well. Oh, there was a nick on that. Umpire Shazi needs to make the call if that ball bounced before the keeper.
Definite edge. Definite edge. Let's have a look if we can see. Ruan Osbrook, stand-in wicketkeeper.
Umpires are consulting. Difficult to judge. And umpire Kieran Claster says not out. It does seem like the ball could have maybe just bounced in front of him.
Ruan Osbrook was just walking up to have a little word there with Jason Niemand. Niemand having none of it.
Yeah, the two umpires having a word with Ruan Osbrook. Not sure what was said. Osbrook obviously not too pleased.
I think it'll be along the lines of, are you saying I'm trying to cheat? Are you sure? Did I hear you correctly? And maybe an invite for a cold one after the proceedings.
Yeah, difficult to judge from here. Thick outside edge to that third man fielder. Good fielding there by Jacques Snyman, keeping it down to 1.
Flexbrand's Knights needs a breakthrough here. Tell you who won't get flustered through all of this, and that's Nathan Root. He's a very calm character. He'll feel like this is meant to be.
Running hard. They're going to look to come back for the second. Again, not great work behind the stumps from Haasbroek, and they do get the third. Everything going the Inyati way at the moment.
Now, there's ebbs and flows in a cricket game, as we see Haasbroek not being able to collect there. And the batters coming back for a third. Coming back to the ebbs and flows. The flow of this cricket match currently with the Eastern Cape Inyati. Everything going their way. The neck of Niemand Judge to have bounced short of Haasbroek. They get a third where only one might have been the option.
You see a change in the field. Third man coming up. Fine leg going out again. You see 4 fielders out on the leg side to that short boundary.
Shot.
You've got to say, not great bowling there by Ross Boast. Short and wide. And Jason Niemand, too good to miss out.
That's cricket for you, Raf. He's a youngster. He'll learn from this.
Yeah,
might still come back and win the Knights the game, yeah? Everything was going his way in that first 2 or 3 matches he played. Now he's under the pressure, or under the pump here. Let's see how he responds.
50. Again, straight through that fielder. They are going to come back for the second and look for 3. Malusi Siboto does the fielding, but they are going to come back for the third. And you can sense the dugout also applauding the running between the wickets and the work being done by these 2 batters. They've got victory in their sights, the Eastern Cape Inyati. 89 for 1. 1 ball remaining in the 12th over. 67 to win of 49 balls.
If they weren't believing, they're believing now. The Eastern Cape Inyati.
Pulled away, should only be 1. So good over again for the Eastern Cape Inyati. 90 for 1 after 12. Well on their way with these 2 batters out in the middle. This partnership, as you can see, 74. Roo on 42. Niemand on 31. And the pick of the Knights bowlers, only the solitary wicket from Agala, 2 overs 1 for 10. Ross Boast, fairly expensive. Do feel that Mshlanga might still have a say in this game. And the Knights need a good over here from Jacques Snyman.
They need a field change, and they've made one. They've listened.
Yeah, that mid-wicket fielder coming across way too easy in that previous Snyman over.
So that'll leave the gap, a big one at cover, but you've got a man sweeping, and also, if there's a little bit of turn, you're going to ask Niemand and Root to try and access cover against the turn.
Much better field this. Over that mid-wicket fielder, should only be 1. They are going to look to come back for the second.
It's good in the field, and it's good awareness. They've come a good 15 meters in from that big leg side boundary, and that's where they need to be. Try and cut off the angles.
Yeah, and some of the quicker and more experienced fielders on that fence. Big appeal for LBW, Jacques Snyman. Umpire shares, he says that's out. Big wicket for the Knights. And that's the end of Jason Niemand.
You can see umpire Plaster now showing Niemand the way as well. He's certainly gotten under the skins of the Knights. That looked as dead as can be. Umpire Shazy taking his time as per usual, and look at how fired up Jacques Snyman is. And Niemann turns around and has a little word. There was certainly some feeling out there after the catch that dropped short, or was adjudged to drop short of Rowan Haasbroek. He had a mouthful towards Niemand. And Jacques Snyman, the experienced campaigner, does that bring the Knights back into it? 65 of 46. And Copeland striding to the crease.
And again, just that fielding change, just that mid-wicket fielder, closing that gap. And Jason Niemand had to go and look at other areas to get those, and looking to play that and reverse that, switch it to the other side. And that's what got them the wicket.
That's a wicket taken in commentary. That happens a lot. But that fielding change was overdue. Copeland. He was a star in junior cricket in South Africa. Michael Copeland. Not that he's not a star right now. Played for South Africa at under 19 level.
Yeah, good. Gets off the mark immediately. Just the one this time around. Made the move from Gold Rush Boland down to the Eastern Cape Inyati. Also a former Joburg boy.
To produce a lot of cricketers. Johannesburg and Pretoria. Up on the high felt.
Oh, big appeal again. And umpire Shazi says that's the end of your Nathan Rowe. Big over here by the Knights, and Jacques Snyman. 2 in-batters are out. Nathan Rowe departs for 43. And that from 34 balls. Inyati 92 for 3. A similar trend to what we saw with the Knights innings. Losing wickets in clusters. And it's game on.
I missed the straight one there, did Nathan Rowe. It is his bread and butter, working the straight ones through mid-wicket. But Jacques Snyman, the old experienced head, picks up a couple. And my oh my, how quickly things change, especially in a final. 92 for 1, or 91 for 1 rather, becomes 92 for 3. And it is Malika coming to the crease now. Good innings from Nathan Rowe. 43 of 34.
Yeah, we did feel that the 2 spinners might still have a say in this game. Saw the Inyati spinners doing a superb job for their team. Snyman has picked up 2 for 11 in his 1.4 over so far, doing the business for the Knights. And Malika, left-handed batter. We know that Jacques Snyman bowls well to left-handers. He's got a slip in place. Magala. 3 fielders out on that leg side boundary. Oh, just past the left hand of Magala. A diving Sasanda Magala. Can't get a hand on that.
Very agile, the big man. Moves well. But Jacques Snyman turning the game on its head here. Is there a little bit of tweak for him out there currently?
2 new batters at the crease. The Knights will want to string together a few dot balls. Keep that pressure mounting. Good stop of his own bowling, Jacques Snyman. That's the end of the 13th over, 93 for 3.
And now there's pressure, Raf. That's the big thing. There's pressure on both outfits now. Inyati, they were cruising along. 93 for 3. 42 deliveries left. 9 runs to the over. Duckworth Lewis pass score all of a sudden is 100, which they're 7 away from.
And comparatively, the Knights, after 13 overs, were 119 runs on the board.
Magical notebook of Rafik just being pulled closer. Mhlanga changing ends, and this is the end we used to see him bowling during this campaign. To the left-hander, he's now got that massive leg side boundary. Still a man sweeping on the offside. Long on, long off. Deep mid wicket and a deep backward square leg. Now this is good from the Flexbrand's Knights.
Just still get the feeling that you'd like to see that mid-wicket fielder in for the left-hander here. Just to make sure that they don't give away those easy singles. Pulled away. Should only be one.
Good fielding. Good fielding out in the deep.
Yeah, right left hand combination out there for the Inyati at the moment. Mshlanga to Copeland. Crucial stage of the match here. The Knights would like to see that run rate required creep a bit up. 9.4 at the moment. A slight appeal there from Mshlanga. Again, shy at the wickets from Jacques Snyman. Good backing up here from Cole Abrams.
It's the spinners doing it here for the Knights. Jacques Snyman. Bongi Mhlanga, 2.4 overs, none for 15. Going at less than run a ball currently. Mhlanga. It's bowled 16.
I wouldn't mind that. Just the odd single here and there. Right required, keeps on going up. 2 new batters at the crease. Just what the doctor ordered for the Knights. Massive over from Jacques Snyman. Getting those 2 big wickets of Roo and Niemand. Pulled away. Will look to come back for the second. Tiaan van Vuuren cleans up. And that's the end of the 14th over. 99 for 3. 6 more overs to go. And 57 needed to win of 36. Is this where that scoreboard pressure comes in?
For sure. For sure. This is where you, the side, very happy with the runs on the board. 99 for 3 after 14. 57 of 36. Magala, 2 overs, 1 for 10. He's got 2 left. Boast has been expensive, but Mhlanga and Snyman, as well as Saboto, the 3 guys that can take the pace off, they've been successful thus far. Does it tell us something about the wicket? Is it perhaps a tad slower than we felt it is up here? It was good against the new ball, but as the ball goes softer, batters tend to struggle.
Again, straight back to the bowler. Another dot ball, crucially. Mid-wicket, extra cover. In position. Just to the left of that mid-wicket fielder for 1.
Raf, what I've picked up in Jacques Snyman, he must be so disconcerting to bat against, because as an off-spinner he gets close to the stumps, meaning there's 0 angle. It's coming from gun barrel straight. Let's see, when he goes around the wicket to the left hand, he might go slightly wider.
Yeah, he does.
When he bowls to those right-handers, Raf, he's right in next to the stump. So as a batter, it just changes that angle completely from where it's normally delivered, and it becomes almost from straight in front of the umpire's face.
Yeah, Jacques Snyman always produces the goods with the ball for the Knights as well.
Look at that.
Oh, just past that mid-wicket fielder. Should be 2. Again, those fielders on the boundary needs to be aware at this stage of the game. A lot of work that will be done there. Especially those leg side fielders need to be about 5 or 10 off. Again, using his feet, Copeland straight to long off. Should only be 1. Looking at that run rate required, just past the 10 mark at this stage. Oh, a big appeal, and it's given him.
When it goes your way, it goes your way. That's probably the worst delivery he's bowled in his spell. But Ruan Haasbroek hangs on to a very good catch.
Almost seemed like Haasbroek had 2 bites at that. Looked to have popped out in the second grab, held onto it. But a big wicket. Yeah. As you mentioned, most probably his worst ball in his spell. It gets him his 3rd wicket. And that's the end of Malika, the wicket-keeper batter. Snyman now 3 overs, 3 for 17. And now this Christian de Tooy, if he's not here, that's massive.
Now all of a sudden,
looks like Kutser.
I really needed another batter here. So Hardus Kutser is a true all-rounder, is Hardus Kutser. He can hit the ball a long, long way. But 4 wickets down now. 104 for 4 after 15. 52 of 30.
Yeah, and our understanding could be that Christian de Tooy is not going to bat, which effectively means that the 104 for 5 needing to go at 10.4 from here on in. The captain brings himself back into the bowling attack. Malusi Siboto from the Willows End. Only conceded the 11 runs in his 2 overs so far. And this could be the last 2 recognised batters out in the middle for the Eastern Cape, Inyati. Now going to look to come back for the second. A bit of a mix-up. Good fielding by Seth Vleermuis.
Well, look at that arm of the youngster. That fizzed into Ruan Haasbroek. Originally from the Western Cape. Western Cape Sports School, Seth Vleermuis.
You've got to take some credit as well, Spoot. One of the players that you've identified and brought to the Free State.
Parents were nice people. Thought I'd give him a chance. Now, I always saw him back when I was in the Western Cape at DF Malana High School. Chucked him a lot of balls on my dad.
Do see Langa on the field. Not sure which of the Knights players are not on the field at the moment.
The Knights have sort of taken control of this now. Big task on the shoulders of Hardus Kutser.
And Copeland. Malusi Siboto. Old Wars, experienced cricketer.
I do think I've made up my mind here, Raf. I do think that once that lacquer starts disappearing off this ball and it goes a little bit softer, I think this wicket is just a little bit slower than we anticipated. It's taken a lot of traffic.
Yeah, we've seen a similar trend when the Flexbrands Knights were batting. They are going to come back for the second. Again, good running between the wickets.
That's good running from the Inyati, but you do now feel they'll need a boundary or 2.
Yeah, the 1s and 2s not enough at this stage. Again, should only be 1 to Vleermuis. Deep mid wicket, boundary.
.47 of 25. Couple of big hits needed. 1s and 2s aren't going to win it from here. This is a very important ball from Malusi Siboto. Keep it down to a single. That's what he'll ask of himself as the captain as well.
It should only be one. They are going to look to come back for the second. Oh, and he does make his ground. Nonetheless, a decent over. Good over there by Malusi Siboto. 3 overs, 0 for 18 so far. And you look at the scoreboard, 111 for 4 after 16. More importantly, is that they need to go at a rate of 11.3 in the last 4 overs.
So I've just had a look at the stats of Jacques Snyman, his T20 career bowling stats. He's picked up 22 wickets. He's picked up 3 for today, but he does go at an economy rate of less than 7. We spoke about that angle that he delivers from. A bit of indecision on who's going to bowl, and why wouldn't you give Snyman his 4th to finish off? That means Bongi Mhlanga will bowl his 4th over very late, and I think that was what the chat was about. Which one of the two is willing to bowl in the 18th over?
Yeah, and maybe even willing to bowl to the short boundary.
And Snyman said, I'm the senior.
Do like this. And again, small details and just a change in field, and suddenly the whole game almost changed around. But more pace.
That's big.
That's massive to the long boundary. Copeland getting a maximum.
Jeez, that's a clean hit, ref. That is a massive boundary. Waltzes down the track. Snyman does nothing wrong. He attacks the stumps over the advertising boardings. That is massive.
Say that a change in the field. They take out that mid-wicket fielder, bring him across to the offside. Jacques Snyman coming around the wicket. Again, down the ground. Top shot by Copeland.
He does hit it so cleanly. And that changes the whole complexion yet again.
Ebbs and flows. Spoke about it earlier on.
At 35 of 21, it's back in the mix.
Straight to that extra cover fielder. They are going to scamper through for a single. Langa does well to hold on to that. Saw those fielders on the leg side having a lot of ground to make.
Somebody's going to need to bowl a good over here for the Knights. 34 of 20. 2 big deliveries remain. A wicket here, and the cat is amongst the pigeons again. Coetzee has only made 3.
Yeah, they are going to look to come back for the second. Decide against it. Wisely so.
It's brilliant fielding. Was that Fledermaus again?
Fledermaus on that long on boundary, making a lot of yards. Again, they are going to look to come back for the second. Good over here from Inyati. 31 needed off 18 balls. Just slightly over 10 and over. Game on.
This is what you want from a final, isn't it?
Yeah.
Going down to the wire here at the Mangaung Oval. We saw a very decent crowd in yesterday. Such a pity the rain and the lightning put a halt to affairs. Game restarted today, and there's the equation now. 31 off 18. Roommate 43. Ratvin 10. Niemand was good for his 31, but it's Copeland who's added impetus late. He's on 24. And with him is Coetzee. And Malusi Siboto is going to bowl the all-important 18th over.
Yeah, Copeland, he looks the danger man. We all know Ardis Coetzee can also hit a long ball.
Kaya Majola week later this year in Bloemfontein as well, Ref. Everything going according to plan at this stage?
Yeah, now I think we're fortunate and quite blessed in Bloemfontein with two traditional cricket schools with excellent facilities, Grey College and St Andrews. So looking forward to hosting a successful week.
Oh, Seboto, just making sure that Copeland doesn't leave the crease too soon. Wily old foxes, Seboto. Didn't officially appeal, just warned him.
Yeah, and you get the feeling if you see the three fielders out to this long boundary that he is going to bowl that wider line, maybe taking the pace off outside the off stump. Does that, should only be one.
If there's some trial laws currently in place in the limited over format game in South Africa and across the world. You see those two red lines outside the off stump and the leg stump of the batters. The inside markings almost doubles up as the danger area, as we used to know it. But then also, if batsman starts moving around and changes position, that's sort of your leg side wide line guideline now, if he gives himself room. So it's not just if you miss the leg stump, the umpire's got some more to take into consideration if a batter is moving around.
Seboto just past that red line according to umpire Karen Cluster.
Now, that was a wide in any language. And then that outside wide line.
Just got to look and see if Copeland didn't change his setup or just move before the ball was released. Maybe that's what Malusi Seboto is indicating.
Yeah, so just to get back to that, the inside wide lines is where you can go down leg if a batter's moved down leg.
Yeah, if you look at Copeland's setup, he is batting at almost outside of off stump. I think that was what Malusi Seboto was talking to umpire Cluster about.
There's been many varying opinions on the trials at this stage. Some umpires like it, some don't. Some players like it, some don't.
Importantly, it is a trial.
Smashed.
They are going to come back for the second.
Yeah, they've identified the arm of Tiaan van Vuren as a bit of a weakness. We saw how Seth Fledermaus really flung it in to the wicketkeeper, and it's almost strange to see an opening bowler who perhaps doesn't possess the biggest arm in the side.
Just saw Malusi Seboto indicating to him that he needed to be a bit more off the boundary, and he is about 15 off at the moment. Well bowled, Malusi Seboto.
Yeah, all the experience in the world. The Flexbrand's night captain, Malusi Seboto. Played a lot of cricket here in Bloemfontein, represented the Titans as well.
Cape Town boy, all the way from Langa. Saw him for the first time in 2005 in East London, where he was also selected for the SA Under-19 team that year. Down the ground. Patwater is going to do well to cut it off. He's keeping it down to 2. 24 to win off 13.
They need a wicket here. They need a wicket here. The Flexbrand's Knights.
Up in the air. Man underneath it. Taken. Big wicket by Malusi Seboto. And a good catch at long off by Patrick Botha. And that's the end of our Skutser. You called it, Sputsmith. They needed a wicket and they got it.
Right on cue. Two experienced men in the night squad. Malusi Seboto and Pat Botha combined. And Hardes Kutser, 9 off 9. Played an important hand in giving Copeland the strike. The first time he tries to go big in downtown, Pat Botha holds on.
Yeah, you think that the key for the Eastern Cape Inyati is Michael Copeland. He's on 25, not out. Still has enough ammunition to take this game away from the Knights. As we see Mhlechwa making his way to the middle. Interesting who's going to bowl the last 2 overs. Does seem like Sisanda Magala will be bowling the 19th over. And Siboto's bowled his 4 overs, 1 for 25. Snyman has bowled his 4 overs, 3 for 31. So it could be that Tian van Vieren or Mshlanga takes the ball in the 20th over.
Surely they're going to give it to Tian van Vieren. It'll be a very, very tall order to give it to the young left-arm orthodox Bongi Mhlanga. He's unlucky to have only bowled 3 overs. He was really good. 3 overs, 9 for 18. But if there was one guy in South Africa you want to bowl this over, don't look far past Sisanda Magala. We often refer to the 19th over as the most important over in T20 cricket, and you give it to your best death bowler.
And with this field, you would expect him to take the pace off. Play straight to that deep square leg fielder, just for one. And more importantly for the Knights, getting Copeland off strike and the new batter on strike.
So to me, the big question always in a situation like this is, what do you do with your fine leg? You've got to stay away from giving him width, so you've got to go as straight as possible. Fine leg is in the ring. You can't have him back as well, because you've already got 3 out on the leg side.
That's why I do feel that you would get 80% pace taken off here. 80% of the deliveries, that is. Again, pace off. Stop there by Mshlanga in that backward point position. Just another single to the total. 22 from 10. That's the equation.
So I wonder what the Eastern Cape Inyati is thinking right now about the toy not being available to bat. As in Mhlechwa is the man at the wicket with Copeland now. Copeland needs to face 8 out of the last 10 deliveries for them to win this.
We saw in that previous over from Snyman, he does hit a long ball. Face off, and he does go big. Man underneath it. Taken! You can't keep Patrick Botha out of the game. Or is that Seth Vleedemouse? Does look like Pat Botha.
Yeah, it was Botha who took the catch. The experienced campaigner. Pace off once again. Vleedemouse's cock-hoop. But Pat Botha just with the old wry smile. Boys, did you ever doubt me underneath that? Is that the end, Raf?
Yeah, you do feel that. Just mentioned Copeland is the key. 26 of 19 balls. The Tui not here. Big loss for the Inyati. And the way this game has gone, you do feel that it could be a tall order for them to go at, 14 from here on in. 22 needed of 9 balls. Anything can still happen. We've seen close encounters between these two teams in this competition. And Tini makes his way to the middle.
He can very quickly become a hero with a bat here, Tando and Tini. 3 balls left in this Magala over. Yep. Look at those figures. 2.3 overs, 2 for 12.
Yeah, Sisanda Magala, all the experience in the world. He's taken the pace off. Telling them to hit him to that long boundary. Look to clear. Difficult to do.
But it's great control as well, because in taking the pace off, you still need to bowl a certain line. Can't give width. Now you can to the left-hander. You can bowl those slow deliveries a little bit wider, or you can go wide full Yorkers, which you won't do because third man is up in the circle. So he'll still be taking the pace off with both third man and fine leg inside the circle.
Yeah, the execution here is going to be key. To that short boundary, you got to get your line and your length spot on. Do expect him to bowl those slower balls, off cutters. Down the ground, just for one, should only be one.
Very good. Very good. If you're going to miss your length in the death, you rather miss it full. Low full toss is very difficult to hit. Botha, there in picture. 35 years young. Number 23 on the back.
Thinking about a game of 4-3-8 when you said Inyati could make a name for himself with a bat.
And didn't he do?
Face off. Straight to that deep mid-wicket fielder. One bounce in front of him and just a single. Magala's doing a superb job here for the Knights, getting them closer to that title or that trophy.
In all fairness, they have been the two best sides in the competition. Knights finishing on top of the log. The Inyati finishing second. They both had a chance to qualify for this final when they played each other. The Knights winning by 3 runs in the Duckworth-Lewis method. Eastern Cape did it the hard way. They went back to East London, beat the Badgers. As we see that catch from Botha again, the reaction from Harsbrook.
Yeah, big ball here from Magala. Dot ball here is worth gold. Should only be one. They're going to run hard. Oh, Pat Botha gets the ball back in, but they are going to come back for the second. So 18 runs needed off the last 6 balls. And it is going to be Tiaan van Vuuren who is going to be entrusted with winning this game for the Knights. So 18 to win of 6. The Knights will be happy not to concede boundaries in this over. 2 batters out in the middle. Mtini and Mshlechwa. Tiaan van Vuuren from the Willows end. Just looking at what field he's going to have. Deep mid-wicket, long on, long off, sweep out on the offside. And looks like a third man, almost a backward, deep backward point area. Third man almost square. Now it does go to that almost a deep backward point. Van Vuuren. Straight down the ground. They're going to do well to keep it to 2. Pat Botha has been in the game. Just the 2 runs. 16 off the last 5 deliveries. So the lines are predictable. You do expect it to be a foot or more outside the off stump. Straight to that deep backward point fielder just for 1. 15 off 4. The left-handed Ntini to face 3 fielders out on the leg side. The length now becomes one where you feel that back of a length, 4 fielders out. Hard length, pace off. That is what you can expect from Van Vuuren to Ntini. Pitches it up in the block hole. Teeny manages to keep that out. He's going to come back for the second. 13 to win of 3 balls. Dot ball here wins you the game.
No extras. No extras. That's the big thing here.
Yeah, 4 fielders out on the leg side. Surprised to see him bowling that ball up in the block hole. You do think either pace off or that hard length into the wicket. Again, full toss this time, straight to that mid-off fielder, the captain Siboto.
Not the greatest of deliveries, it has to be said. He's not been at his very best today, Tiaan van Vuren. But he's going to get away with it. And the Knights, barring a miracle, barring 2 sixes, and remember there is a short boundary, so it's not over till it is over.
Yeah, felt Van Vuren got away with that one. Just looking at his field, that previous ball. That should be it. The Knights 1 ball away from being crowned CSA Division 2 T20 champions.
So it's 15 points in the bank for finishing on top of the log. They've got their eyes set on Division 1 cricket next year. But now they're going to have some silverware. And I'll tell you the good thing for the Knights boys, that this game is finishing at 1. There's going to be a party here this afternoon at the Mangaung Oval.
Yeah, excellent stuff here. And just reward to the coaching staff as well. Coach JP Trichard, Ruan Derksen, and the support staff. Cherie Hendricks. A lot of hard work that went into this campaign. And that's the end of it. Dot ball to finish things off from Tiaan van Vuren. The Knights comes out on top and they win this game by 11 runs. The Flexbrand Knights. They are now the CSA T20 knockout champions.
What a start for a new sponsor. They've just joined the ranks of the Knights, the Flexbrands company. They went through amazing trouble for this final year at the Mangaung Oval. New advertising boards. We had drum majorettes yesterday. We had parachute jumpers coming in on the Mangaung Oval. And now the Knights have got silverware back in the cupboard. Great performance by Sisanda Magala with ball in hand. There is the notice, your champions. 144 for 6. The Eastern Cape Inyati finished on. At a stage when Jason Niemand and Nathan Roux was batting really nicely, you thought that the Eastern Cape Inyati would have enough in the tank. But a great comeback led by Sisanda Magala and 3 wickets from Jacques Snyman brought the Knights back right into the picture. It'll be a big moment for youngsters like Seth Vleedemouse. His first time that he's part of a side that wins silverware. For the experienced campaigners like Jacques Snyman, Malusi Siboto, and the rest of them, Sisanda Magala, winning a trophy never gets old.
Yeah, I think you've said it all and summed it up perfectly, Sput.
Now the next step, Raf, getting the Mangaung Oval looking like yesterday and a bit more. And the home fixtures to come. Some marketing. Easy to market a winning side. Bloemfontein likes their cricket and their rugby.
Yeah, you gave credit to the Flexbrands sponsors. They've been absolutely amazing since they've come on board. Good to have them as part of the family out here in Bloemfontein. And also just reward for them and the team. A team that will be looking to get back into Division 1, where a lot of people feel that they belong. It's been a closely contested match nonetheless. We saw this game ebb and flow, and unfortunately this wicket also, you mentioned that the longer the game went on, the more difficult it seemed like to play on.
Yeah, and you've got to have a word for the Eastern Cape Inyati as well. They've played 3 times against the Knights this year in this competition, and all 3 of them was close. The Inyati won in East London, That was the only loss that the Knights suffered throughout the campaign. And they came very close in their previous encounter here when they lost out by 3 runs on the Duckworth-Lewis method. It's a young side, the Eastern Cape Inyati, with a young captain in Nathan Roux. So plenty of room to improve. Players like Tandu Ntini, Jason Niemand, Roux, Christian de Toey, who couldn't bat in this final due to exams. So a bright future awaits for Eastern Cape cricket. They've got a good structure, they've got good coaches, as do the Knights. But the party will be at the Mangaung Oval here this afternoon on a Monday. What a way to start the week for the Knights franchise, as they are now affectionately known as the Flexbrand Knights. They are your CSA T20 knockout champions for 2025. Some extra money from the sponsors to the players, and a good prize money from Cricket South Africa as well.
Yeah, just the last word from me, and that's to spare thought for 2 of the players that are not here. Riley Rousseau has played a massive role in this campaign, helped to get the Knights to the position that they were in. Also, their captain, who's not here and injured, Dane Pitt, is one of the standout bowlers before his injury. Pitty, this one is for you. And that's a wrap from Mangaung Oval. The Knights champions, and you can sense that there's going to be huge celebrations today here at Mangaung Oval.